Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ayunia Hanis binti Rosli. So I'm from the group 7. My group is choosing McDonald's as a company practice, recruitment and selection. Let me share with you about the McDonald's. McDonald's is a F&B restaurant. So the nature of the business, McDonald's is a fast food. So as you can know, McDonald's is a product based on the fast food product. So on the 1994, McDonald's Malaysia has launched the first Prosperity Burger, also launched a delivery service in Malaysia. On the November 1987, Ayam Goreng McD was introduced in Malaysia. The new product 2002 is a bubur ayam McD. Okay, let me share with you about the McDonald's. On December 2016, Saudi Arabia Lionhold Pte Ltd becomes the owner of the McDonald's in Malaysia through McDonald's Developmental Franchise Structure. So McDonald's is the world leading quick service restaurant chain with more than 36,000 restaurants worldwide. McDonald's serving more than 69 million customers daily in over 100 countries. Also, McDonald's serve over 30.5 million customers a month in 300 restaurants nationwide. For your information, McDonald's was the first network to receive halal certification from the Islamic Affairs Division of the Prime Minister Department in 1919. Okay. For your information, the first restaurant in Jalan Bukit Bintang is already open at 29 on April 1982. Okay, let me share with you about the McDonald's. Okay, on December 1988, McDonald's opens a first drive-through restaurant in Jalan Bahang, and after three years, the first franchise restaurant was opened in Sibu, Sarawak on January 1994. McDonald's launched 24 hours service at over 17 restaurants nationwide. Okay, let me explain with you about the staffing organization challenges. Okay, as you can know, the McDonald's have the little bit challenges to hire employees and workers. Okay. Next, we discuss about the staffing organization challenges. For your information, McDonald's have three categories, which is the restaurant worker, second is the corporate staff, third is the franchise worker. Let me explain with you about the challenges in the McDonald's. McDonald's have a tough staffing employee because a different culture, traditional for each individual and employees. Sometimes the employee very hard to suitable itself to adapt a new environment in the working place. Second is skill gaps. Sometimes each company have the general conflict when they hire external and internal candidate because a different race, different religion and different skill. For example, language in Malay, Mandarin or English. Okay. Sometimes some the employees have the same position but the different salary and the different skills. Third is a technology. According to advanced technology, the employee need to improve and making great service, but sometimes the employees just ignore the new technology and very hard to communicate to the customer. Fourth is higher competition, which is the external candidate and internal candidate which are different with a different experience, different salary from the previous company, and then the internal and external candidate need to show to McDonald's how to get the position, how to make the position. Then McDonald's have the difficult to search to to sorted the best the candidate. That's all from my. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Shafika Nabila binti Abu Bakar and I will be present about recruitment and selection process. What is staffing? Staffing is the process of acquiring, deploying, and retaining a workforce of sufficient quantity and quality to create positive impact on the organization effectiveness. Important of staffing. It can provide a sufficient supply of qualified individuals to fill jobs in an organization. At the department level, having sufficient numbers and type of employees on board is necessary for the smooth, efficient operation of the work unit. It can deliver high quality services is through knowledgeable employees and gaining competitive advantage with other companies. With good staffing models, the organization can have a high quality workforce to generate high performance and profits. For McDonald's, the first step or key that bring the big name of the company is the staffing models. The power of good staffing system contributes to achieve organization goals such as example, survival, profitability, and the good. They put their ultimate vision to be its people favorite way and place to work, and they believe by taking care of the people, the business will take care of itself. They have designed a big career chart as they need. McDonald's have clearly assumption about the size and the type of workforce that will need to be acquired, trained, managed, rewarded, and retrained, so they can have enough people to support business activities to have fulfill of the organization groups. When the quantity meets the quality of the people with chaos, this combination create an optimum and effective staffing system at McDonald's. What are the HR planning? HR planning has three keys to achieve, which are first, predicting the number of workers for company needs. Second, analyzing if the supply of potential employees meet to the demand. And the third, learning to balance the supply and demand cycles. McDonald's has promised to provide simple, easy enjoyment to every customer at every visit. To achieve the promise, the McDonald's Human Resources Department is in charge of right people, right number, right place of work, the right time, right cost, correct knowledge, skills, experience, and training of all employees and proof. In McDonald's, HR planning, they offer first for the growth of the career and development of opportunities if someone working for them. Second, they offered for a flexible working hour that enable people to fit McDonald's into their lifestyle. And third, they offered the diversity working culture where they can work in an enjoyable and energizing atmosphere and everyone feel part of the team. McDonald's put the clear and attainable objective or aim for every franchise they own for every different country at different places and culture. McDonald's understand correctly to the consumer that consumers need quick services, supportive prices, and improved hygiene. Consumer with a different taste and requirements in different countries, and McDonald's associate launch the new product for their local customers. McDonald's advertised on their special website their job vacancies and recruit staff from their personnel departments. Through the specialized website, they can pick and choose the type of employee they want to be a part of them. As they have a flexible working time, they have to find enough employees to meet with their needs. Every level of career has their role and responsibilities for taking care of each other so that misleading to the goals can be prevented. They also use three motivation theory components in HR planning, which are first, financial incentive, second, non-financial encouragement, and third, social policies to encourage the employee to keep working and making improvement. What is job analysis? Job analysis is the process of studying job in order to gather, analyze, synthesize, and report information about the job requirements and rewards. At McDonald's, they use three steps to make job analysis, which are first, observation method, second, interview method, and third, questionnaire method. They make their employee as main worker at the stage work because with the crew members of McDonald's and every level of employee they have McDonald's as they know. They have three different job structure which are restaurant worker, corporate staff, and franchise owner. First, for the people who work as crew member, they watch the crew members work as far as they can and then ask the members of the crew for more assistance in detail. They do both method to have the details which are an observation and interview method. McDonald also use the same technique for interviews to ask employees how they feel when they are have work, how they handle of their jobs, and satisfy children and their parents. They often collect information about the job directly from the employees for their managerial jobs. They will prepare the question about the jobs related to the purpose of the job that they handle, experience, education that related to the jobs, and other for their knowledge about their employees' condition at workplace. From that, they can make a decision for some condition that not good in performance, or they can reward the employees for the good performance at workplace. McDonald's provide opportunities, searching talent, developing leaders, and reward achievement as they are learning organization. The McDonald's training system is based on training when and where necessary. Through effective training, McDonald's team members can gain skill and focus on specific system, policies, and procedure. Then McDonald's use a combined learning approach to apply the principle of training, which means that several methods are used to provide training message. McDonald's training tool allow the delivery of consistent message and on-the-job coaching give the participated the opportunity to work with a coach who builds practical restaurant skill on the job and demonstrates how the concept work in true life. So the learning in the classroom is an in and out of the restaurant is scheduled. Instructor facilities event at the McDonald's as real restaurant experience include classroom activity.
Recruitment is the first step in the process of filling a vacancy. Examining the vacancy, considering sources of suitable candidates, contacting those candidates, extracting applications from them, conducting short listening sessions, interviews, and finally inducting the selected candidates within the department's company's budgets are all parts of the process. The hiring process at McDonald's is decentralized. Employees are welcome to apply at any McDonald's location. McDonald's are frequently rented out as badges. The recruitment and selection process begins with applications presented by the candidates. These applications and resumes are screened based on merit, institute, experience, and others. Employee turnover is also occurring in the McDonald's franchise in order to attract new employees. McDonald's employ two types of recruitment, namely internal recruitment and external recruitment. For internal recruitment, McDonald's selects their candidates from within by considering their past performance and qualifications for the required job. McDonald's publish their open jobs on their website where their employees can apply for the job. Any employee in a reasonable position may submit their applications for the job. The management has all the details on the information about the work of the employee. The selected employees will be interviewed by human resource manager or the head manager of the specific department. McDonald's employs a succession planning technique for executive positions, in which managers or senior employees are promoted to executive level based on their performance. McDonald's typically use external recruitment despite the fact that they prefer internal recruitment or internal promotion of employees to higher positions. In the event that an employee leaves the company, the organization has a large number of applications received through the website. The organizations use the internet and its website to advertise, recruit. Nowadays, recruitment through the use of the internet and websites is becoming more common and popular. In fact, McDonald's has its own website where they post job openings and invite people to submit their CVs and forward it through an online process. In addition, McDonald's recruit people by placing advertisement in newspaper or magazines and inviting people to apply for jobs. And this is most common method of hiring. McDonald's also employs the most common method known as internship. because many employees on the ground floor join McDonald's for internship. One of the benefits of this method is that organizations do not have to pay any additional fees and their manpower needs are met for a limited time. There are few criteria required for being employed by McDonald's. Qualifications for employment at McDonald's include appearance and grooming, leadership skills, growth potential, English communication skills, experience and knowledge, professional qualifications, and computer skills. So the next step is to pick and choose the best candidate from the pool of applicants. McDonald's use screening tools to choose their candidates. The written test is the most important step in the selection process since it enables the candidate's knowledge and capability to be properly analyzed. The following steps are included in the selection process: an initial interview, aptitude test, reference check, final interview, and relocation. Large organizations frequently use testing for both internal and external hiring. McDonald's also use a variety of tests to evaluate the people they hire, giving them the best assurance that the people they hire are perfect in every way. McDonald's administered the test because their candidates were concerned about reaching their full potential. The tests are of various types, such as cognitive ability tests, IQ tests, general and intellectual abilities, verbal fluency, vocabulary, and so on are examples of these types of tests. These tests are typically administered when recruiting executive and supervisor. Motor and physical ability tests are another type of test. These types of tests include evaluating the performance of employees who typically work on machines in the operation department, and these tests are used to check their reflex as well as their performance at their workplace. Then comes the interviewing phase, during which the managers make their selections. Employees can take the interview in one of two ways: top level interviews or low level interviews. McDonald's generals and division manager conduct top level interviews with candidates for executive positions, while the department heads conduct interview for the positions of associates head, officers, managers, and assistant managers. Following the selections, the candidates are approved by the general manager. For final match, during the recruitment process, there are few things to keep in mind. It is critical to maintain regular contact with the candidate until a final decision is made on the candidate. The decision-making process should not take too long in order to prevent the candidate from pursuing other opportunities. Once a decision has been made, the candidate should be informed. The candidate should be informed of the entire process of his appointment, including all documents that must be submitted. The human resource manager conducts the investigations and reference check after the employee is hired. Reference check in McDonald's are described as job history checks, which include relevant qualifications, applications for employment such as work experience and salaries. The employee shall be invited to join the company following the interview by the human resource manager and all relevant investigations. Candidates will be chosen if they successfully overcome all obstacles or tests. Candidates will be given an appointment letter outlining the terms of employment, wages, benefits, and the positions for which they have been chosen. Candidates who have passed above that the hurdle must undergo a medical examination. This is critical because a person in poor health cannot do their job completely, and the investment in them may be wasted. Letters of appointments are used to make offers. The date on which the appointee must report for duty is usually included in such letters. Appointments should be given a reasonable amount of time to report. When the employee or staff member is already employed, the employment is required in order to obtain a certificate of discharge from the previous employer. When the candidates accept the offer and the job offer is made, the employee and the candidate must sign certain documents. They must be given a confirmation form. This form includes vital information, important information about the confirmed candidate, and it is still valid for future use.
Okay, next we go to staffing flow in improving recruitment and selection process. First is online interview. Candidate must go through various of questions. After the candidate is selected, the candidate is sent for an on-job evaluation and interview with manager. The main reason is to gain access to candidates' capabilities. Second, allow the candidates to access working environment that suit the style of work or not. Lastly, the final selection process should start with initial screening, written test, initial interview, aptitude test, reference check, and relocation. Okay, next we go to staffing method strategies in improving recruitment selection process. First is start hiring for attitude and training for skill. This recently trending method to hiring and help establish dynamic teams by valuing work ethics, flexibility, and teamwork over experience and technical abilities. Hiring for attitude gives you access to a larger pool of candidates. In the long run, candidates who pass the attitude test make better employees. They are in appropriate frame of mind to learn, grow, and contribute to the future of your company. Second is collect and analyze feedback from candidates. Another technique that helps recruiters save time and money is candidate rediscovery. It is also one of at least 2 reasons to keep in touch with candidates you didn't fire. The other reason is improvement to be better candidate who have just been offered a job at your organization is unlikely to rate your hiring process on the record. You have turned down several candidates. On the other side, they are likely to have a lot to say about your company's image. Take use of the chances to gather and analyze candidate comments. This will give you significant insight into how applicants view your hiring process and will reveal what needs to be changed and why. This process can also be speed up with the use of automation tools. Third, streamline your background check strategy. Many businesses are expediting this process by picking candidates first and then screening only the best one. This focuses attention on what matters most, namely the candidate's hard and soft skill. In addition, reversing the orders allow you to make a speedier final selection. On a similar point, some roles do not necessitate the completion of specific screening examinations. Next, we go to management and administration in improving recruitment and selection process. First, we begin with performance planning. Performance planning, which is focused on specific goals, set the tone for the year by outlining objectives and developing an effective approach to assist people in achieving their goals. Performance planning, like all the other processes, is a joint effort between the management and the employee, though some component will always be non-negotiable. Begin by identifying primary job expectation in the job description. Expectation can then be defined for each major area. Long-term and short-term goals, as well as an action plan for achieving them, should be identified under each key contributing area. Goals can be ranked in order to determine which are the most important. Discuss the specifics of how you progress towards your goals will be measured. The next stage is to identify any difficulties that may prevent this objective from being met. If an obstacle is knowledge, skills, or behavior, a plan should be developed to overcome such as training, mentoring, and others. The employee and management should then routinely check progress against goals, problem solve, roadblocks, reassess goals, adjust goals when business direction changes, and re-evaluate training and resources needs using the performance plan as a reference document. This is where the interaction is most important and where follow-through is frequently lacking. Continuous improvement and open communication are facilitated through performance planning and continual performance feedback. Second, create an ongoing process. Performance management, which is include goal setting, performance planning, performance monitoring, feedback and coaching, should be a year-round process rather than a once-a-year event. When feedback is given at the right time, it improves learning and give you the chances to make any necessary adjustment to reach your goals. The attitude toward continuous feedback is also important. The environment will stimulate development and drive goal-directed performance improvement if there is organizational support for incorporating constructive feedback into the fabric of day-to-day interaction.
Third is gather information from multiple sources. Obtaining performance data from a variety of sources enhances impartiality and ensure that all factors that affect performance are taken into the account. This document should include objective data such as sales statistics, phone log, and deadline reports, feedback from others, outcome of personal observation, documentation of continuing discourse, and record of any external or environmental element affecting performance are all useful pieces of information. A self-evaluation by the employee is included in many assessments. Past performance appraisals, as well as present departmental and organizational objectives, are other documents that might help define performance targets. Organizations frequently use 360 feedback method to collect feedback from other employees. In addition, completing a self-assessment, selected peers, subordinates, and managers are asked to provide comments and predetermined topics. The feedback is given based on abilities or competencies that have been recognized, and the results are compared to employee self-assessment. This type of feedback raises self-awareness and can be utilized to help with performance evaluations in some instances. When evaluating performance, objectivity is critical and is tied with a clear understanding of job requirement and evaluation technique. Some checks and balances can be applied to maintain objectivity. When conducting evaluation, managers frequently make mistakes, and the first step to minimizing such errors is to acknowledge that they exist. Fairness and objectivity are aided by consistent processes throughout the organization. Others can check the legitimacy of the procedure if they have access to the information. Although not all employees require access to the finding of others' employees, performance appraisals, measures such as calibration meeting can assure uniformity. Managers with employees in comparable position meet and review appraisals throughout the calibration process before they are finalized and share with employees. A calibration meeting clarifies why people are given different performance rating, educates manager about the process across the company, and promotes uniformity. If necessary, it also serves as confirmation for the manager's judgments. Reporting is essential for determining the process fairness and consistency. It can be used to compare ratings from one division to the next or from one management to the next. For instance, people analytics and machine learning technology can also help remove bias from performance appraisals and evaluations. Fourth is prepare and train your manager, which managing the performance of another person is a difficult endeavor that necessitates a wide range of ability. It may be necessary to provide training to ensure that managers are fully prepared to accomplish all the tasks associated to performance management. This is especially true for supervisors who have recently been promoted. Managers must comprehend human behavior as well as how to encourage, develop, coach, and resolve disputes. Manager must be observed and be able to appraise a scenario, provide motivation, and detect difficulties that impede performance to a large level. Manager must also recognize that employees with varying degrees of comfort, skills, and expertise in their roles will demand varying level of input, support, and supervision. A manager who is confident in his or her ability to provide and accept feedback, deliver a performance review, and lead a performance evaluation meeting will be a key contributor to the success of the functioning process. Next, we go to components and elements in improving recruitment and selection process. First is criteria development. All personnel participating in the hiring process should be truly trained in the phases of interviewing, which included defining criteria, analyzing resume, developing interview question, and weighing applicants. The planning of the interview technique, which include creating criteria, is the first step in the selection process. Criteria formulation is the process of deciding which sources of information will be used and how the sources will be scored throughout the interview. The job analysis and job requirements should be closely tied to the criteria. Some component of the job analysis and job description may constitute the actual criteria, include aspects like personality or cultural fit as well, which will be part of the criteria creation process. This usually entails debating which talent, ability, and personal attributes are essential for success in a certain career. The HR manager or manager can be confident he or she is being fair in selecting person to interview by defining the criteria before evaluating any resume. A biographical information sheet or an application may be required by some organizations. The majority of these are done online and should include information about the candidate's background, education, and past work experience. Second is interviewing. After determining which applicant fulfill the basic requirement, the HR manager or manager must choose those who will be interviewed. Most individuals don't have time to go over 20 or 30 prospects, so a phone interview can help restrict the field even more. Third, making the offer. The final step in the selection process is to make an offer of employment to the preferred candidate. A more official phase of this procedure is the development of an offer by email or letter. The remuneration and benefit will be specified in the offer. Finally, human resources are regarded as an essential component of any organization. To complete the roles, duty, tasks, and processes, proficiency and competence are required. As a result, it is critical to develop effective recruitment and selection methods within the organizational structure. Individuals in company can make acceptable human resource selections when they are informed of proper recruitment and selection processes. Many work tasks and functions in organizing and performing all types of jobs require expertise and the ability to improve by providing the worker with proper training. Effective recruitment procedures increase productivity, foster good working conditions, and foster strong employee relationships. The right candidate for the right job will help the company achieve its goals and ambitions. When selecting employees, it is critical to ensure that they all have the necessary qualifications, capabilities, and skills to perform the job tasks in an organization. The recruitment and selection process are the most effective way to achieve business success. This is due to the need to hire the best candidate for a vacant position. At the same time, a large talent pool of candidates is being developed to ensure the organization can hire the best employee. Sales managers should determine the job requirements and the type of person who should be able to meet them. If a supplementary selection aid is to be used, a psychologist should be consulted if the psychology test is to be used. Implementing more effective processes for recruiting candidates and selecting the best and brightest will improve one's ability to meet the human resource need of one organization. Thank you.